Welcome back to Maths Miss Buick. In this example, we'll be looking at completing the square. However, if you have not looked at the previous maths video, Complete the Square, I would recommend that you would watch that video first. And the reason for that is because in this video, we're dealing with a coefficient in front of the x squared, but on the previous video, there is no number here in front of the x squared, so they're much easier to deal with. So start off by practicing completing the squares without a coefficient in front of the x squared first before you begin this video. So we'll start off this video by firstly factorising out the coefficient in front of the x squared. So in this case, our 2. So we're going to take out the 2 and we get x squared plus 2x minus 5 over 2 and equal that to 0. We're now going to view this question as a simple completing the square question where there is no coefficient in front of the x squared for the next step only. So we'll start off again by our 2 and there is our x squared and our plus 2x. Again, we're going to follow the method from the previous video. So plus with a line underneath it, and then a negative with a line underneath it, and then our minus 5 over 2, close the bracket, equal it to 0. Now, in the previous video, I told you to get this number here and this number here, you have to half and square the coefficient in front of the x. So we half and square. So half and square coefficient in front of the x. So in this case here, half of 2 is 1 and then 1 squared is 1 and 1. We then follow the same steps as the previous video. We take the first 3 components and the second 2 components of our equation. We're going to leave our 2 on the outside and we have follow this up here. So here's the x, so here's our x. And you can see here that I've done a double bracket because we're leaving the 2 on the outside, pretending it's not there for the moment. When working with it, so just rewrite it. So let's deal with how we would normally factorize this in terms of completing the square. So there is the x from above. We've got a plus sign here, so we're going to write down our plus. And then from the previous video, to get this number here, or alternatively the p, it's half the coefficient in front of the x. So half of 2 is 1. And we close our bracket and we square, and then negative. So if we add these together, we get negative 7 over 2. And then close our bracket. Now, we want to get it of this format up here, where you can see you've got the a, bracket x minus p to be squared plus q. You can see that the q is not inside the bracket. It's been taken out. So we have to do that. So let's multiply the 2 in here and the 2 in over here, and that will get rid of that first. So 2 by all of this is 2 by x plus 1 to be squared, and 2 by minus 7 over 2. Well, that 2 will cancel with that 2, so we're left with negative 7. And there is our answer done. So you can see there that this completing the square question is a step up from the previous video where there was no coefficient in front of the x squared. So again, I reiterate, if you have not looked at that video first, please look at that video before you commence looking at these questions.